I've never found a love like this. There it is. I've never found a love like this.
You will learn that, like, there's no point saying that because we're on a member stream. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to E20ZoneTV.
I must admit, it is growing on me a little bit. The way it sounds with the beat. It's kind of funny.
I don't know, mate. I don't know. Listen, welcome back to E20ZoneTV members only stream. Ask anything tonight, people. So, any questions you want to ask, West Ham related, non-West Ham related, get them in the chat. We will talk about it tonight.
George,
boys, how are you?
Hello, George. I'm good.
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. I witnessed an absolute beautiful match between Arsenal and Manchester City, and it just made my day.
Tell what, when you're trying to do a stream and you can't even get the box of your thing up on your TV, it's unreal. Listen, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about West Ham at the minute. 8 players look like they're down injured. What's going on?
If you want, I do have a update that I can share. That
Go
I don't
ahead.
think anyone would mind. Let me pull it up. I think it's common knowledge by now. It's probably been, I won't read the whole thing in detail, but I will summarize it as a respect to the best source in the game, Mr. X. And here we go. So I know everyone was having an incredible meltdown about certain players missing out. Obviously, we already knew about Gerd, Zuma, Cornet. Who else has been injured? I think that's it. But
Scamacca.
I know, Scamacca. Rice missed training today. Fornals missed training. Cresswell, I think, missed as well.
Right.
But Rice and Cresswell both had viruses. Nothing serious, but they should both. Rice and Cresswell and Fornals should be fully fit for Sunday, and Aguerd and Paqueta's injuries are not as bad as first seemed, and Paqueta could be back for Nottingham or United in the Cup.
It's worrying, mate. I'm telling you that now. I am majorly concerned. Trust me. Like, we need these players fit and firing, and this is before we get the heavy schedule. Let's be honest. Like, the heavy schedule is going to be the next few weeks. You know what I'm saying? We're getting injuries down.
And Aguerd does have a chance at playing on Sunday. So
Is he worth the risk? Would you say?
So London Derby, everything goes out the window.
Yeah, I agree. Online, welcome. What is it you want to? What else do you want to discuss tonight on this fine evening in the UK?
Well, as you said earlier, everything goes tonight. I want to do a shout out to my mate Mikel Arteta, who lost tonight. Bad run of form for Arsenal, which is unlucky for them. But West Ham picked up more points than Arsenal in February. Do you see that as encouraging or poor from Arsenal?
Great.
I see that Arsenal are top of the league and West Ham ain't. West Ham are fall from bottom. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what I see it as. And I see it that Arsenal have been very good for the last 5 months and we ain't. Do you know what I'm saying? Let's have a get to this question. How does Moyes not foresee this in the window? How did he not see that we weren't going to get injuries in the window? Can someone please tell me?
I want to know what we do in training, by the way, because our injury record is quite abnormal at this point.
You can't foresee injuries, but it is. I just take it. It's. I know it happens at every club, but I feel like at West Ham, our injury bug is an absolute joke every year.
Well, yeah, but this is not a sort of, how can I put this? This does happen at clubs, and West Ham should have been proactive in the window, in my opinion. They've known full well that Zuma carries injuries like dodgy kneecaps.
I
So-
would say we should have 1,000% bare minimum
Yeah,
brought in. I'll be honest. I like the Danny Ings signing, but if you two had to pick
yeah.
between a backup striker or a backup center half, we did kind of desperately need a striker because of current injury, but I really do believe we could have done obviously with a backup center half as well.
Agreed.
It's ridiculous, mate. It's ridiculous. Like, I'm not being funny or nothing, right? You go and get rid of Dawson, and for whatever people think of Dawson, and think, you know what, he ain't as good a defender as some of the other players. He's still a fucking defender. Do you know what I mean?
Mate,
He's still the centre half.
Wolves supporters have found out quickly, and I've seen them all over Twitter, just absolutely happy as Clive. It's like, just happy as. And I mean, we were truthful when some of them came to us on Twitter asking us all these questions about him, and even the pundits have been giving him consistent praise. So,
I agree.
I
do agree.
I fucking miss him so much. I really do. I never thought I would get attached to a player like Craig Dawson ever, but Christ, like I really do miss the guy. I'm still pretty gutted about it.
Listen, he was top, mate. He was top. The one thing you can say about Craig Dawson is he gave it 100% at every game. Like, there was not a game where I thought, you know what, he couldn't be bothered. But I've seen other defenders give it like a go. But
I love a player that, even though they're not the greatest, or they like mess up a couple times during the match, they don't lose their head. They just keep grinding. They put their head in the dirt. Like Nathan Ake tonight. He was not great tonight at all, but he still was putting his head first into challenges, even with a boot in his face. It was beautiful to see. I love players like that.
what about you?
I think Craig Dawson, I think he was terrible for us this season, but overall, he's been a quality defender for us and a great signing by Mr. Moyes. I agree with what's been said. I think we should have kept him as backup, but at the same time, he had personal issues, family issues where he wanted to go up north. We should have reinvested the money in a centre half immediately, and it already looks like we're going to have to bring in that Luizao, or however you pronounce it, the Brazilian guy. Luizao into the threshold.
Do you reckon he'll start a game soon?
No, I reckon he might get.
I saw him play once when the U23s were playing Fulham, and he looked okay. He does. I don't think he looks settled in yet, but I have been praising up Keenan Forson Apaya, however you pronounce his double barrel name. He looked brilliant against Fulham, and I really, really hope they stream the U18 Youth FA Cup quarterfinal, because I'm really excited about that.
When is that?
Next
Thursday,
week.
isn't it? I might be wrong, but I thought it was Thursday.
What, this Thursday?
Next Thursday, I think.
Oh, mate, and that's at Ipswich, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I might have to take a little visit down there, mate. I might have to slip to the missuses.
That's another thing we can mention. I haven't. Mark Noble went on the Fozcast the other day, and I haven't listened to the full podcast because I like. I don't know about you guys, but I like watching podcasts on YouTube. Like, I like just seeing the people engage. I'm not really much of a listener.
Yeah.
I like seeing it and then
I like
listening.
both.
But the two videos that Ben Foster's put out of the Fozcast with Mark Noble have been absolutely quality and hilarious.
Would you
in the podcast, I do know they were talking about the academy a little bit, and Mark Noble basically said that the reason why we've been clearing out some of these U23 players because he really thinks the U18s have an incredible chance at being great.
Yeah, I did hear that. I think that's smart, but our fans were exploding when these U23 players.
The stand, and again, it's just like with all of our supporters, like everyone. I kind of like that we're not all on the same page because that'd be a bit boring.
Yeah.
But like everyone's standards are completely different when it comes to
Yeah.
everything, and like even
What
for
are
me,
your standards, Lucas?
for the academy,
No, but just for West Ham in general. Like, if you was to ask yourself a question now and say, right, because I know what my standards are, but I want to hear what you two standards, what you think of West Ham right
what
now.
I was going with, I was gonna give my standard for the academy, but I can give you like everything. I mean, my standard, I expect us to finish bare minimum 11th, 10th, and I want
I
to be
think
fighting.
consistent top half.
Yeah, consistent top half, always
Yeah.
fighting for European competition, and
Trying to
at
win the
least
cup.
make a run in one cup
Yeah.
or whatever European competition we're in.
Would you agree with that, West Ham Online?
Yeah, I think someone asked me that in the space the other day. I would say top 10, always within 10 points at least of the European positions personally for me. And also trying to win the cups. I think that should be our aim. We've got to win a trophy soon. But this year, I think we should try and win the Conference League personally.
For me, I expect West Ham, the moment they left Upton Park, West Ham went to another level, in my opinion. Like, they should nowhere near be flirting with relegation. He just shouldn't be happening. With the amount of money, with the amount of fans and everything.
See, that's like the big disconnect in my opinion, and I don't think you're wrong for thinking that at all. It's just like, it's just crazy how like it's almost like they put that burden on us. Like, like
I agree.
And it's tough to translate that feeling, because like realistically, if we were still at the Bowl-In, what's going on right now would still be like unacceptable, but it'd be like, you know what, like whatever. But the fact that the way we moved to a new stadium and how they were hyping up our move and all the BS that they were saying, that we're going to be fighting for Champions League within 4 or 5 years, it's almost like, all right, bet. We'll put your money where your mouth is, and they absolutely tremendously failed.
See, I don't think a lot of West Ham fans would be moaning if West Ham were in this situation at Upton Park. I really don't, because we was always in that situation at Upton Park. There was never, we would have one good season, 5 shit seasons. It was always the way. Like, it was always the West Ham thing. Do you know what I'm saying? I think that the goalposts change now because the expectations of West Ham, and let's be honest, right? I do have this argument so many times with our fans and rival fans. They look at us and they don't think we're a big club. And I think, well, I don't know about that. I think we are a big club. Right? We carry 60,000 fans in a home game, and away from home. Look at that game at Manchester United, midweek game, Wednesday night, no trains.
Yep.
I think it's 9,000 or 8,000 or something.
Even
sold out.
Even Liverpool away during the week.
Yeah.
When me and Alfie went, all there was one coach back. I had to stay in fucking Liverpool.
Yeah, I had to get a crappy coach. It was the worst.
I had to stay in Liverpool. God bless me for that.
I know, mate. I remember that. George says, if you're Sullivan and Moyes weren't signing anyone, wouldn't you tell him to sort it out? A pair of them honestly need to do one. The problem is, who is at fault for that? With not signing anyone to cover Dawson. For me, I just think it's Moyes myself.
Yeah,
Probably Moyes.
We talked about this a long time ago. I always firmly believe that the man that holds the checkbook, the man that holds the cash, is always responsible. Because I find it hard to believe that Moyes doesn't have targets he wants. Not ones that he likes, but ones he wants. And it'd be tough for me to take and find out if Moyes didn't actually want anyone. I think he always wants someone. But again, it's give and take for me.
I don't know.
But ultimately, if gun to my head, I had to pick one, it's always the guy holding the money. And
he does hold the money.
It makes sense both ways, because like I can see why Moyes wouldn't want somebody, I guess, and then Sullivan might not buy someone because he's about to sell. So,
do you think a lot of it is to do with selling the club this year? Because I think they're gambling myself. I done a stream earlier on another channel and I took two lads invited me on, and I went on there, and I basically turned around and said that Sullivan is gambling with West Ham this year. Like,
1,000%.
do you know what I'm saying? And I think I hope he gambles comes off, because if he don't, then we're all going to be pissed, big time. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I said this when, obviously, like, before the World Cup and Moyes out, Moyes in was, like, at an all-time high. And it's, like, one of the biggest lose-lose situations we've ever been in. Because, like, if we get relegated, Sullivan, GSB, whatever, they might not be able to sell the club, and Kretinsky might not want to buy it because we're in the championship, and then we're still stuck with awful owners and in the championship, and then like we probably keep Moyes because we're in the championship, even though that's not really how I felt, because I'm still Moyes in. I'm not afraid to say it, but it was. But I agree. If we were going to make a change, it should have been before the World Cup started. I put me on that. But again, it was just such a ginormous lose situation, like to gamble on. There's no upside in it at all.
I agree. What do you reckon, online?
Yeah, I completely agree that there really is no upside. If I'm honest with you, I think, as for Sullivan, I don't know if he will sell up this year. I think Kretinsky wants to buy the club or a majority stake of the club. But I don't know if the club do. If we go down, it's a disaster, in my opinion.
Mate, it'd actually be one of the funniest jokes I've ever seen, and like it'd be painful laughing, like, because again, it would be so West Ham to have someone like Kretinsky right in the palm of your hand to buy your club for as much as you're going to get out of it, and then you take the gamble of not sacking a manager or buying some players, and you go down, you're stuck with the club, and you got to fight your way back up.
I tell you what, mate, I think that will fucking tip me over the edge, mate. I will get to Jay Woods' comment in a minute, and anyone else who wants to put a comment in the comment section, please do so, or become a member, and then you definitely can. I'm going to ask this to you, yeah. I agree with what you've just said, Lucas. Bang on the money. Well, I can't stress enough how much you're spot on there. If we go down, mate, I don't think a lot of fans could cope. I know I definitely couldn't.
I'll tell you what,
I'll be devastated.
Absolutely unreal.
Oh, mate, going around like Stoke away, fucking Luton away. That'd be fun.
Barnsley away. I'd love that.
Yeah.
You get your money's worth for the away season ticket.
I know, 100%. Do you feel confident for our next league match? A win is badly needed. Go ahead, West Ham.
I don't think Tottenham are particularly good, but I will say, away at White Hart Lane, or whatever they call it now, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, last couple of years, since we beat them with that Antonio goal, it's been a bit of a struggle. Last year they did a number on us. And if you remember, last year we specifically changed to a back five for this game, and we were really bad actually. But I will admit, I don't think Tottenham are very good. I don't think, if I'm honest, that they're levels ahead of us. I just think they've got Harry Kane, who is, in my opinion, the best footballer in the division. And
the only other huge disappointment besides Bowen has been Son. He's been absolutely awful.
He loves a goal. He loves a goal against us, though, doesn't he?
He loves a dive as well.
He's still a great player, so I still fear him if we push up high.
I was a lot more confident before Paqueta got hurt, because I even said the day of or the day before in our group chat that Bentancur is out for the season, and that was that's huge for us, because he, in my opinion, is probably their third best player in the side currently. Kane,
I agree,
Kulusevski, and then Bentancur. Easy. I think Christian Romero is completely overrated.
I agree, one thing I did want to say is I actually think, obviously he's poor on the ball, but I think in 2023 Souček's actually not been too bad. So I'm not too bummed out about him playing because
Yeah, but my thing is no Bentancur, so it's going to be Højbjerg and either Skip,
Sar or Skip.
Basuma,
Sar, it'll probably be
Sar.
that Sar.
Like
Yeah.
you
Sar,
put
yeah.
Declan Rice and Paqueta against those two, like we're gonna run riot on them in the midfield at least. So I was confident with that. But then once Paqueta got hurt, my feelings towards the match have changed a little bit. Because, like, I'll be honest, I watched them against Milan the other day. Of course, had money on AC Milan and won because Tottenham are shit. But yeah, they did not look great. You know what? They look like a more, how do I put this? They look like a more organized West Ham, if that makes sense. They're basically
I don't
running the
even think they
same
look
philosophy. They're just more organized.
I don't even think they are more organised, Lucas.
Really.
I think it's the best time to play them. 100%.
Yeah, I agree with that.
A
I
bit
think we ain't going to
off-
get better time than playing them than now.
Yeah, I
Like,
agree.
like, what was it? They lost 4-1 against Leicester, who were poor, like who've been poor all season. And the AC Milan one, you can take it how you want to take it.
Poor.
Do you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. This is one game I fucking hate to lose.
Yeah.
I hate to lose this game. Trust me.
And it stinks because like in this situation and definitely this type of match against Tottenham, biggest London derby, like I would love to see us express ourselves because realistically, when you break down this 11 versus 11 with who's currently fit, you'd really like to see players on both sides like really express themselves and go after each other. Like Son should be thinking he's going to have his way. Bowen should be thinking he's going to have his way. Ben Rama's thinking he should have his way. Kulusevski as well, and Kane, and Antonio. Like this is a perfect storm for someone to turn their season around.
Would you change the system against Spurs?
It's a tough question.
Because I definitely would. There's no way that I think you can go with one centre half and four full-back wing-backs in a back five.
Tough because I agree with you that I don't like the back five. I don't like the back three, whatever you want to cut it and slice it as. Because it's too negative for me personally. And while I'm not a tactic Nazi by any means. If we're picking up points, we're picking up points, and that's just the way my view is. But it's tough because again, I agree with your opinions on it, but we haven't lost. We're picking up points, but we do need to pick up some wins. And I said a couple shows ago that these type of matches, I'd never mind a point. It's just those mid-table clubs that we have to beat so we can get up the table. So, I mean, would I change the system? Ultimately, I'd probably say no. But
I just think it's a game that we can win, though. I don't look at Spurs and go, "Fuck me, we've got Spurs this week."
That's how I felt. That's how I felt with Chelsea personally.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, this is a game. This is a match we hate to lose. So it wouldn't surprise me if we didn't change. And
because I tell you what it is. The way I look at it is, Wolves have got Bournemouth, I think, at the weekend. If I've got that right. If Wolves win that game, they're 6 points clear from us.
Yeah.
And that's a gap. Basically, we've got to have two wins and a draw to get in front of them. And they've got to lose 2, if not 3.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So I am getting concerned about the gap. I'm looking at the table now. And I'm looking at Southampton 15, Bournemouth 18, Everton 18, Leeds 19, West Ham 20, Wolves 23, Forest 24, Leicester 24, Palace 25, and then that's it.
Yeah,
Because Villa.
That's why when we were talking about standards earlier and what Alfie said, how he would really like to see us try our absolute hardest for the Conference League. I said my dream scenario in the current situation we're in, we somehow just get a nice comfortable gap from relegation. Say like
Yeah.
11, 12 points away from the zone, and then obviously we're probably not going to do any better in the league, so we put all of our eggs into the Conference League basket and go for it, because that would save the season for me easily.
What? In what way?
Winning the Conference League.
Yeah, if we win it, yeah.
I'd rather stay in the Prem
If
myself.
we finish, no, obviously, yeah, no. But what I'm saying is, if we finish 16th, 15th, and won the Conference League,
it's a good season.
Been the season off. I'm celebrating a trophy.
I agree. I do agree with you on that. Because we haven't won a trophy in 43 fucking years, so I can't not say that I want.
Yeah.
Right, people have been born and died and not seen West Ham win a trophy. Let's be real.
Yeah.
So, I agree. The only problem is it going to come to a stage where we're going to have to bin one of the competitions because we're trying to stay in the league? Like, I look at our next 5 games and they are fucking vile.
Yeah. Well, what is our next 5?
Well, our next 5 are Spurs, Forest, and then we're away to Brighton, I think it is. And then we've got Villa at home, and then we've got Manchester City.
I think we've got to beat Forest.
We have United on the 25th.
And then you got Man United on the 1st of March.
Oh yeah.
Oh, by the way, did everyone see what happened on West Ham's Twitter earlier?
Yeah.
Yes, I did. We will discuss that a bit later on.
Yeah,
that was quite interesting.
Alfie, I found out that two out of the 4 on the panel have not been blocked.
I ain't been fucking blocked. Fucking right.
I have. Never seen.
Have
you? Yeah.
Fuck me, mate. He believes in E20.
Did you see the sorts of tweets that he was liking?
Yeah, disgusting.
And reply, and now he's deactivated, so he don't look like he's gonna get his shirt.
Mad, mate, mad.
Some people tweet like no one can see their tweets. It's hilarious.
Unreal, mate. Before we move on to that, because we'll talk about other things other than like just West Ham tonight. How do you? Because you boys won't be. I won't see you boys till after the game, basically. How do you see the game going on Sunday?
Go ahead, Alf.
I think it goes. I don't think we win the game, if I'm honest. I think at best we get a draw. I think we will get a draw. I think it'll be 1-1. I think it'll be a cagey affair, and I actually think it'll be a game with a lack of quality. But Tottenham's best creator and best goal scorer is Harry Kane. If you stop Harry Kane, you stop Tottenham nowadays. And I think we've got enough system-wise, and I think we'll be boring to watch, but I think the system will limit Harry Kane because I think we will sit deep. I don't think we have to play so expensive. We'll get a lucky goal on the counter and they'll probably get a goal through Kane or something like that. But I think it'll be a boring game and a 1-1 draw.
Yeah.
What are you saying, Lucas?
Yeah, I agree with Alfie. I think if Paqueta was fit, I think I would fancy a 1-0 win. But it is going to be very cagey. It's going to be very ugly, I think, just because the midfield battle is going to be absolute wank, in my opinion. If anything, Declan Rice might put on a masterclass in the midfield by himself, and hopefully Thomas Suchek complements him. Up front, I mean, they've given us no hope or any reason to hope of any success going forward. And the defense has been solid, I think it's fair to say. When you look throughout the whole season, you look at some of the statistics, we have been very good defensively this season. But, all we can really rely on is our defending and Declan Rice to maybe pull a rabbit out of the hat and create something because the front 3 isn't getting it done. So it's gonna be typical West Ham, Tottenham, 1-0, 1-1, very cagey. Hopefully a fight or two would be nice. See the boys show some passion.
I agree. I won't give my prediction. I've got two shows to do before then. But one thing I do want to see come Sunday is a performance to be proud of. That's one thing I do want to see. West Ham go up there to North London on Sunday afternoon and give it a fucking good go. I'll be over the moon. Like, defensively, I agree with yous. I think we're good, but I think that's going to be jeopardised now with no Aguerd in there. I think you take him out, it's fucking square pegs and round holes.
I do think though, if just one of those front three can just show up and do something, I think we do have a decent chance. But we can't keep trucking along with three stinkers.
I would rather West Ham play 4-3-3 in this game. That's one thing I would do. I'd rather West Ham play 4-3-3, have a Bonner, and if it's Kira, a Bonner and a Kira at the back, Kafel right back, Ben left back, and have Flynn Downs, Souček, Rice as a three-man midfield. That has got energy all over it.
Or even if you are going to run five in the back, I wouldn't mind seeing two strikers, three midfielders. Really would.
Yeah. Like, I just want to see. I need to see something from West Ham on Sunday. Like, people are saying the last two games we've got 2 points. Yeah, great, but we can't keep drawing games. We need to start trying to win a game. Because, like, let's be honest here, we would have been better off losing one of them two draws and winning one, and would have had more points.
But if we do beat Tottenham on Sunday, then our run of form at that point is definitely impressive. 2 wins and 2 draws from them 4 games is excellent for a team in our position.
But it is the worry, before we move on to other stuff, is the worry that if we don't win at Spurs on Sunday, the Forest game becomes huge.
Yeah.
If we don't beat them, then basically we haven't really fucking turned any corner. All we've done is been blagging it, basically.
Yeah, if we don't beat Forest, then. I think Forest, they've improved. Don't get me wrong; they look a lot more defensively tight than the start of the season. But we've got to beat them. I do think they're terrible.
Carl Jones says, "I think Kira is injured now." Fucking hell! I have anyone at the back. If you have to put this Brazilian at the back, put him there. I mean, I'll just put someone there. Let's talk about the man of the hour, Mr. Mark. I can't think of his name. Is it McCarthy? Is it? All right. Unreal what I was saying on Twitter the other day. Alan, thank you very much. I think that's Australian dollars, all the way from sunny Australia.
Thank you, Alan. Much appreciated.
It's probably mid-morning there now, but Alan, big yourself up, man. What did you make of that today? I could not believe it. All I could see on my timeline, my Twitter timeline, which it was funny. I was going through my Twitter timeline, as you do. You go down the wormhole of Twitter. Yeah. You start seeing blocked. Lucas, do you want to explain to the members?
Yeah, so funny enough, we found, because West Ham traditionally, whenever they do these giveaways, they never tweet out who wins. They never do. They don't. Like out of 10 times, they probably do it like 2 or 3. Yeah. But for all we know, they could just be like DMing and not like making it public. But they finally decided to tweet out a winner, and it so happens to be Mr. Mark. We won't go full name. You can find that on Twitter, most likely. But
you definitely can.
Mr. Mark won, and people were just interested to look at the profile of the guy who won, and about 75% of all West Ham Twitter feels like or seems like they've been blocked by this man. And the lucky few who have not been blocked by him found some very naughty, dirty tweets from this geese. And it was absolute filth.
He's into absolutely all sorts. And what could have been a great day for Mark, in which he won a signed shirt, ended up being a nightmare. He's probably opened his phone, seen, "Oh my god, I've won the shirt." He's looked at the tweets in the replies and gone, "Oh,
mate,
me."
That is the definition of just a dirty old geese.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Just
some of the
dirty old man.
Like, so what,
I
mate?
swear,
what?
people. I said this earlier. I swear, people just they tweet and like stuff that they're just like, "Oh, no one's gonna see this. No one can see this."
Yeah,
like, you've got to be kidding me, man.
It's like he's going like on every sort of X-rated thing, isn't it? And
he's commenting on women's features like it's no one's business or no one can see. And you're like, oh my god.
Oh, and he kept.
I've just had to put Alfie on mute because he's echoing a little bit. But unmute yourself, Alf, when you can. I will say,
I'm echoing, but
I will say this, right? It was funny because I was just looking at it, and it was just people like randomly like going, "I've never even spoke to this geezer, and I've been blocked by him." And then I thought, you know what? I'm usually the one getting blocked, right? Because of my opinions, right?
Alfie,
I thought,
remember that happened before with another guy?
yeah.
Like it was, I forget who it was, and it was like it was a bigger joke than this time, which was funny enough. But it's so weird. Like, you know how many people he blocked? Like, I don't have time to do that. I never really block anyone anyway, but I had about like maybe 10, 11 people blocked. I mean, the mute feature is absolutely superb. Probably the best feature on Twitter of all time, but I went through, unblocked everyone. I just don't really see the point. But you know how many people he's probably had to have blocked? You know how much time he has wasted on doing that?
Oh, yeah. How's he found that many people? What do you reckon happens with him now?
What I want to know what the standard is for his blocking. Like, what would you have had to have done or be associated with to earn such a block?
If he doesn't fancy you, you're blocked. I think that's what it is.
well, stay away from me, Mark. That's what I said. You know what I'm saying? Stay away from me. I don't know, really, man. Like, I couldn't believe it. What I was really seeing, I was like, is this for real? Like, and then what you do as you just go down the timeline, you just start seeing just everyone saying it.
Surely West Ham should have checked some of his tweets. Like,
this is class from George right here. That's class.
And he replied to some, like, he's replying really weird stuff. Like, it was awful videos, and he was putting nice, you know what, young lady.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Yeah, no, like I said, he was just replying to certain women's tweets with compliments that should not be publicly shared, in my opinion. At least, like, maybe send a DM, even though he probably still would have went over the edge. At least DM, because I'd be embarrassed if I ever tweeted something like that and someone just put me out there. Oh, and I would never anyway. But my God, man, like,
that was bad, I must admit.
Some horny bastards out here.
I know, mate. I know. And what does it for me is that there's enough women out there to go out and meet someone, to do that. Do you know what I'm saying? And
I don't know what he gets up to in his spare time. I imagine he'd be in prison right now if we did know.
I don't think he's getting that shirt anymore.
He'll still get his shirt. He'll still get his shirt.
No,
he
deactivated.
James. He's closed his account down.
So hopefully he got that address off to him.
Fucking hell. That's bad, though, isn't it? Let's be real. Like, when you're seeing stuff on Twitter. Now, not being funny, I actually don't mind Twitter. Like, I think Twitter's alright. I think if you know how to handle it. Social media for me is like hit and miss. Like, you can I've met some really, really genuinely nice people for doing the spaces. Clive, who's a member of this channel, really, really nice lad. I've met, obviously, Sir Daddy, who's the analyst. He's in there somewhere, but you know what I mean. I've met some people who are decent people from the spaces and doing stuff on Twitter. And then obviously you do eat your fucking mentally disturbed fucking idiots.
Yeah. And like I told you the other day about like Twitter, YouTube, like it's just every platform is so different. Even like TikTok, it's just completely different. Like, you want to talk about standards, like the standards on each one of those apps is just so completely different than one another. Like, I'm not joking. I've been on Twitter since creation, basically. And if it ever came down to like actually having to pay for Twitter, I'd have to sit down and really think about it because I love Twitter that much. And Twitter is like the definition of it is what you make it. And Alfie can agree. And I don't think Alfie would be too far away from my opinion. If I ever had to like let's say I had to pay $10 a month to use Twitter, I think I would, because
I do.
it entertains me that much.
I do hope they sort of bring in I heard that they were going to do an hour limit per day. I do hope they do that because it will get me off the app. I always just keep clicking. Last night I got banned for 12 hours because basically
What for?
there's some prat on Twitter. I don't know if you know him, called Mike Luhg. Is a Man United fan. He's one of them people. He says
I saw
Harry
you squabbling
Kane's,
with him.
yeah, he said Harry Kane's worse than basically, because Harry Kane's won 0 trophies, he says anyone who's won 1 trophy is better than him. He's got that sort of logic. So he put some ridiculous tweet out to Kane like, "Oh, we should make games more than 90 minutes. They should be like 180 minutes." And Kane said, "What about the fans?" And he's gone, "Oh, don't care about the fans. This is a sport, not an industry for entertainment."
He thinks this is ancient Greece.
And then I
gladiator
said,
football.
And then I said, "I really hope you hit your head against the wall, Mike." And he got me banned straight away.
Oh dear. I must admit,
I love Twitter. It's just like, that's where I get my news. That's where I get all my memes. I create business meetings. Shit, I don't know. I love that app.
I've been clicked up a few times on Twitter, but they're just making me famous. That's all it is. Do you know what I mean? I must admit, I don't mind Twitter. You do meet some fucking mentalists, though. I will say that. Like, you have to go through the shit.
I think it's the best. I think it's the best social media app. Like, I don't really consider YouTube social media. I consider it more like just content creation or content in general. But Twitter just, it's got everything. I find it way better than Instagram. Facebook.
I do like Instagram. I do like
and TikTok. Well, TikTok isn't social media really.
Atrocious. I'm on
can't.
it too much as well.
I can't do TikTok. I still haven't downloaded the app. Humble brag. I know. Don't applaud me. But yeah.
Do you enjoy Twitter, Alfie, when you're posting about Moyes on the regular occurrence?
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I do think.
Alfie's got a reputation to uphold. It's tiring.
Yeah. I've got to try to see.
Do you know what? I had a tweet from someone the other day. Yeah. Another person who's a decent geezer, yeah, I've met through YouTube, Twitter, etc. First thing he messaged me, right, Joe, and I'm gonna get him on the channel one time. He turned around and said, "Is Alfie for real?" When he's talking about David Moyes, like the first thing I was like, "Well, you have to ask him." He goes, "Yeah, I have to find out," because I think when people see Alfie, aka WestHamOnline, on Twitter, they see a man who is like literally besotted by fucking Moyes, but I can't get besotted by Moyes because I just don't see it.
There's only one place to find out Alfie's real opinions, and that's E20ZoneTV on YouTube.
Yeah, I do think
live and direct.
One thing with Twitter is, I do think one thing that's negative about Twitter and social media in general is, I think you can understand someone a bit more on YouTube than when you're typing things out. You could, like, the tone of your voice really does change how you come across in what you say. So I could type a tweet out on Twitter and I could be joking, but because I can't get my tone across.
There needs to
you can't get an emotion out of a tweet. Like when we do our player ratings, and we'll get to Jones' comment in a minute. When we do our player ratings, fucking it gets wild on here.
They need a sarcasm and a trolling tab next to each tweet just to let everyone know.
Yeah, I agree. I also see something on Twitter the other day talking about social media, going away from West Ham a little bit. But it is to do with West Ham. Is some man got stung by a scammer for £120 for tickets. That's one thing I do see on Twitter quite a lot. Like, I think what they should do in certain aspects is do like a live space and speak to the people and interact
Well,
with the
it gets tricky because, like, I don't know why the club are like this, but the
Yeah.
club always try to crack down on people that either sell their tickets or give them away. And the thing that I don't understand, and the thing I don't get why they get so mad about is I feel like they think the people that are either reselling or not even reselling, selling their tickets face value or giving them to someone, they think they're like giving it to some random person. Where it's like, no, you're giving it to a supporter. Like, why on earth would I give my season ticket to a Chelsea, Arsenal, Brighton supporter? Like, that doesn't happen, really. And they crack down on Twitter groups, Facebook groups. They get like rats in groups just to like snitch on people, and I find it quite sad, to be honest, because at the end of the day, if someone can't go to a match, we don't want an empty seat. We want as many supporters in the building as possible.
I just think when you see it and you see people getting robbed of money, like especially the way it is over here.
Me and Mitch got hooked one time, but thankfully we were still able to get in. It was Wolves at home. It was bad.
What happened?
Basically, this gentleman in a group. I won't say if it was Twitter or wherever. In a group, he sold me his tickets, and then we got to the turnstiles. Tickets weren't working, but whoever the nice person was that still let us in, we got to our seats, and there was about like 5 or 6 other people like in the row of seats that we were supposed to be in. And we all just like got talking, and we all ended up buying tickets from the same guy, which was unfortunate, but we got in the end, which was nice, and we saw a win, thankfully. That was a match where Scamacca scored that absolute banger.
That was
beautiful.
That was the match.
That was my first match when I got in. And
that was the day I picked you up from the airport.
Well, yeah, it hasn't been a ginormous problem, but like,
and we went
it is sad. It's sad.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. I just think I tell you what, in this day and age, robbing people of money, I can understand people robbing shops and all that. It's not right, don't get me wrong, but they're insured to get their stuff back, so to speak. But robbing people of money is terrible.
It's a bit more sad when like
it's your own.
You're robbing one of your own, and it's like for 25 quid. Like, really? Do you need 25 quid that?
Yeah, before I go on.
Oh, sorry, no. You say your piece, and then let me know when I'm entering the threshold.
No, basically, you think about it like this: if you rob 10 people, and you charge them 30 quid each, 300 quid, it's fucking day's money, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Or it's 2 days' money. What do you want to say, WestHamOnline?
I just want to bring it back to Mark McCarthy real quick, because I've seen the 2 tweets that have just made him delete his account.
Right.
Am I allowed to say a relatively explicit word on here? Is it what happened?
Don't use don't say I wouldn't use the C word that rhymes with bum.
Oh right, but he's wrote it in a different. So basically, what he's put is
okay. I think I know what tweet you're talking about. You can read that out. That's safe.
This is like Alfie Sherrard. Just go on, Alfie.
He replied to a model, it must be, called Mariana Cordoba, and he put, "Hey Mariana, wondered if you're likely to ever come," but obviously spelt it in the explicit version, "over to London." and then he put to her, "Is that a Halloween sex toy, Charlotte?"
Some fucking strange people out there, man. Honestly, do you know what? Over the last sort of year, I've seen so many things. Like, I'm going to go a bit off topic now, talking about that. And there's obviously a news that's broke. Alfie, you probably know this, but the young girl who's gone missing, or woman, not a girl, who's gone missing up in Lancashire.
Yeah.
And
I heard about
literally, the bird has literally gone. Fucking vanished off the face of the planet. Like, no one can find her. No one knows where she is. I just think there is some seriously fucked up people out there, man. Honestly, like really are in a way that you can just go, "Whoa, this is getting too strong. Do you know what I mean?
That's why people.
Yes.
That's why people nowadays, man. I just feel like they just tempt life way too
Yeah.
much. Like, and obviously, like we've all like felt that way and probably done that more than we should. And it takes something big or monumentous to like really make you take a step back and be like, yeah, life is pretty precious. But even stuff like that, man, it's just like that can happen to anyone, and it is scary. That can happen to any one of us, a family member, a mate, a mate's mate.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. It's crazy.
Listen, we've all been. Like, I'll go through it now. Like, we've all been through dark times. Like, I've been through dark times. Like, I've come through the other side of dark moments where it was either life or death for me. Like, do you know what I'm saying? And the way I look at it is, you've got to appreciate life. It's one thing I always say. The reason why I started this channel was really to sort of focus on the team I love and put my energy into this rather than going like the other way, backwards. And I've seen it on a few different podcasts. And there's a young geezer who's a Cardiff fan. He started up his own YouTube channel. He's a heroin addict. He was going down the pan. He was robbing people. His life was a mess, and he managed to sort himself out. He's got a massive platform now. He's interviewing.
Brownie?
No, that is they call it the Central Club. He's a Cardiff fan. He's a Cardiff fan, and I'll tell you what, it's a brilliant podcast. He has some really, really good people on there. And listen, I respect any man who puts the graft in. Like, I'll be honest with you, all the like you lads, Mitch, Tom, we all put our time in on this channel. Like, do you know what I'm saying? And it's just, I'm not after like to become a fucking millionaire, but I'm after to look after everyone. I see people like Mark like doing what he's doing. It's like, it's just, I just think there's enough women out there to go out there and meet someone.
Surely by the time you turn, at least maybe as soon as you reach like even the age of like 16 or 17, surely you sit there and think, why on earth am I sitting here sending these messages?
No, right. It's dangerous though, mate. It's dangerous. Like, I honestly believe, I know we're going to get a bit deep before we wrap up, but I honestly believe because there's so much options now, like, I'm not being funny, I see something tonight, right? I was flicking through Facebook. There was a bird on there who recently split up with a partner about 2 months ago. I see that she's in a relationship with a new man. Like, I'm thinking to myself, I couldn't do that. I could not split up with my girlfriend and hook up with a bird 2 months later.
People are interested, man. It's hard. It's hard to look at like the way other people live their life, and
even on Love Island, Tanya claimed she was in love with Shaq, and now
hey, don't say too much. Don't
ruin it for him. He's got to wait a month for it to come out.
No, it's out now. I had a watch party with 2 of my mates, and we were absolutely loving it. It's good. I actually think Love Island this season's getting a lot of hate. I think it's pretty good so far.
Yeah, it's all right.
Shout out to Will, the farmer. That's my boy. What a gaze.
Even Will's doing up madness now.
Listen, don't ruin it. Someone spoiled that for me the other day. I was very upset, but I kind of had the inclination that was going to happen. I got a text. Bad juicy, Bob. Bad juicy. Do
you think, right, to sort of round it up, do you think a lot of this with Love Island, dating shows, Tinder, Hinge, fucking Bumble, everything, do you think because there's so much choice now, like, that's the reason why you get so many fucking idiots and so many sex pests, basically?
I think because there's so many unrealistic people online. Like,
and standards.
I actually think OnlyFans, I know a lot of women do it because it's easy money, but I actually think it's quite sad. Think of it, how sad you have to be to sit there paying 20 quid a month to see pictures of someone naked. Like, I think that is so sad. Like, the amount of dodgy people that must be in them subscriptions is crazy.
There's a demand though, mate. That's the problem. Like you see, I'll tell you what, I watch a podcast in America, Fresh and Fit, two geezers, absolute top class. Yeah, some of the stuff they come out with, and they say about sort of this sort of culture now, where people, a lot of younger men are single now. Right, they don't really want a bird. A lot of birds don't really want a bloke, and it's very much. It's just everyone sort of you got the two genders.
Yeah, not to get like incredibly deep, but that is kind of like what it seems like right now, which is a bit sad, because depending on like when you've been born, like I'd like to think you and Alfie, we all share the same morals, but like we're all brought up different. Like me and you were probably brought up similar to in what Alfie is, and not in like a disrespectful way, but like the way we grew up, and I'm pretty sure it's about the same in England as it is in America, but like you grow up, like you want to have a family, you want to have a kid, and you want to have a job that provides for your family and not ask too much, and you want to live a decent life.
Well, what it is,
but now, like, let's say someone who's born around Alfie's age, and again, Alfie could feel the same way as we do, but like they don't see it that way.
Nah, it's very, very much
Alfie, am I off the mark?
I think probably.
Obviously, it's all opinions.
But even your age, how old? Sorry, now.
I'm 28.
28. I'd go as far as 25-year-olds at the moment. All of them who I see going on all these dating shows, and people I know, they're all greedy. Like, they don't want one person. Like, even I watch a podcaster who reacts to all the Love Island episodes after they come out, and they say, remember, all these people are trash. Like, every single person who goes in this Casa Amor and these people who go on these dating shows, they'll be with someone for about a month, and they'll meet someone new for 5 minutes and completely ruin it. And that happens in real life. I reckon 50 to 60% of current people in relationships, maybe even more, cheat.
Yeah, and again, it like Fever, what you were saying about like Hinge, Tinder, Bumble, and all that. It's tough for. I'll use my own personal experience just because I don't really care, and I'm honest with myself. Like, and I've talked to Alfie about it a few times, and he feels the same way. I absolutely cannot stand the three apps, but like you almost have to use them to a certain extent nowadays, because like so much of people's times now are used on their phone. No one goes outside anymore to do anything.
See, the thing is, you are right, yeah. And I remember, I think I spoke to someone before, and they said
people judge you on the internet before in person, and that makes it hard. And
what it is, they got ghosted, and they said to me, James,
Scott, do not ruin anything, please. I beg.
Yeah.
I beg.
He said to me, why do you think I got ghosted, James? And I said, probably the reason is because there's so many options there. It's not just one of you; it's 5 of you, and it goes down to 3.
Everyone, males and females. Like when you're on those apps, and even Facebook, like some people they have so many options, and like, and again, because of the way some certain people have grown up, that like they literally cannot live without options.
I think as well, it's especially hard. Pete, you can disagree if you want, but I think for boys it's harder because you can be, and don't mean to disrespect anyone's looks here, but you can be a considered by the population relatively unattractive female, and you'll still have people messaging you all the time because
100%.
Men are just more. I don't know.
It's all about status. It's all about status with a man, right? My advice to any young man of Alfie's age would be get good education, get a good job, save your money, don't just squander your dough.
Be an absolute top man, top lad.
That's what I'm saying, and build your status up. Do you know what I'm saying? I think what it is, because I was in that boat once upon a time. You chase the you chase the bird, but my attitude to that is a bloke don't pick a bird. A bird picks a bloke. If a woman wants that geezer,
Yeah.
she will get that geezer at the end of the day. And there's no two ways about it. Like if
And
she,
it's not like right or wrong. That's just how it is, really.
yeah, 100%.
90% of the time, I'd say.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? I agree. But that would be a story for another day, I must admit. Lads, we're coming up to the hour. We're right on cue. And this is the first of the Q&As for the members. So anything you two want to add before we go?
We've discussed West Ham. We've discussed Mark McCarthy. We've discussed
A little Love
dating
Island
in the 21st century. I think it's been brilliant.
Yeah.
I would like to quickly, I know you'll get onto it, but me personally, I would like to just thank all the members that have come by and all the people that have watched. Don't forget, if you'd like to join these members Q&A, there's a link in the description to join the membership. $2.99. Not encouraged, but if you want to, you want to. And then I would like to give a special shout out to George, Mitchie, Jay Woods, Joan, Alan Dunn for the donation or membership. Much appreciated.
Big up, Alan.
And Scott, the super chef, for joining us. And I appreciate everyone's time.
I hope to see you back in the chat soon, Super Chef.
Final roundup from me. I want to thank all the people who are in the chat tonight. I really do appreciate it. And thank you for the donations. It all goes a long way. We're building something here in E20. As I've said it multiple times, I'm determined to make this a success on this channel because, listen, I've got nothing against any of the other channels, nothing. But I'll try and keep this as real as I can do. Do you know what I'm saying? And I want to try and open it up to different things. The world is the oyster, basically. So coming up,
not a platform for us, but a platform for everyone. Exactly
that, man. Coming up this week, I'm going to say this is I've got opposition preview tomorrow, Thursday, 6:30 UK time. I have got Gavon, who I had on last year, Tottenham fan. He's all right. He's actually a top bloke, right? So I'm going to have him on tomorrow. Me and him will discuss Tottenham versus West Ham. Then, obviously, Friday, I'll be doing a betting preview for the members. So any football betting and all that, I'll be doing that on Friday. And then also on Friday, I'll be doing a West Ham preview. Like me, Tommy will go through everything on Friday for the preview. And then Sunday is a big day. Lucas and Mitchell will be doing the watch along. I'm letting them loose on that. And then afterwards, I'll be doing an after thought and in the evening player ratings. And we will be wrapped up by Sunday night. But you know what? Listen, this is the first one of many. It's been long overdue, I will say that. And you know what? Long may it continue. But I want to thank everyone who's watched tonight. I really do appreciate it. And we will see you again in the next one. West Ham, keep marching on. Take care.
There it is. I've never found a love like this.
Thank you for watching E20ZoneTV. Click subscribe.